Hello. You might think that this is just a standard VW Golf GTI Clubsport, and you'd be right, because that's what it is. But that's all it needs to be.
Thrilling on the outside, chilled on the inside. This car not only brings excitement, but driving it takes years off your life. It's the secret to eternal youth.
Now, you might already be young. You might only be 26, and you might think, I just want the best driver's car for the money. Yeah, also this.
Years ago, you might have said the 3 Series is the best driver's car for the money. Today, not for me.
Everything about the GTI has always been hilarious fun. Tons of vision, great driving position, eager to please, very light on its feet.
There are changes to the rear axle, a more rigid subframe, revised bearings, damping hydraulics, technology, electronic differential locks, and individual wheel damping.
The bottom line is, this is the most agile GTI ever. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't been able to stop looking at it since I got it, and all this week I've been on the internet looking at pictures going, oh, gonna get a white one. I go on the photo thread, very excited like a child. This is the Clubsport version, which if you're in America is a bit like the Autobahn version, so the higher end. You can, in the UK of course, get one that's cheaper than £45,000 and under that special VED thing. If you're in America, we have to pay a strange tax if a car is over £40,000. You can have a manual. This has obviously got the DSG gearbox, and this is a premium paint which will be about £1,900. Don't quote me on that. Talking of VED, my friend had one of the amazing Tuaregs. We've done the Tuareg, here's a link, and he recently swapped it out because of VED. He's now got one of these. £45,000 or £40,000 is not what you're going to pay though, because you are going to be smart and do some form of pay-as-you-go scheme where you can see here the price is £318 a month. Quick look at the Innovision cockpit, which you can see here. Now this has had some little tweaks. The first thing is that you have a gesture with a little noise with your hand like this. And a lot of the videos I've seen are in this mode, but this isn't really the mode to have. This is the screen to have, where you've got your map and then the Spotify from your wireless Apple CarPlay, Android, and this mode here is your miles to the gallon. At the moment, I'm doing 23.6. It's actually all right. I've been hooning around. This is interesting because I've got it green at the moment, but you can change that. So you can have orange or blue, and then actually blue's quite nice. Here's a big highlight for me, the new steering wheel. These buttons are digital for the sake of being digital, but I really quite like them. The reason for that is they are half haptic and half a button. So you can press it and feel something, but you can also just swipe. For example, if I want the music volume up, I just swipe my thumb across. Right. And then I can just swipe back. This area here of course is your radar cruise, because they've got that in most Golfs, as you know. Very good to have. Turn that down a little bit there. And over here is where you will customize this new Innovision cockpit, so you can have GTI mode there with your G-force indicator, and then you've got the full map, 2 dials, and so on. We like the steering wheel anyway. It does feel bigger than the last one. In particular, these ridges here, which you rest your hands on, and the thickness of it. Very good.
And so is the value, because this isn't just one car, it's actually 2. A well-priced daily with comfortable seats and a boot on the one hand, and when you're in the mood, a rally stage car on the other.
Let's talk a little bit more about what it feels like to drive around in. Same 2-litre engine, of course, That hasn't changed, nor has the front wheel drive thing. Front wheel drive to me is a lot of fun, especially when it's doing that torque steer thing. You're going to go through tyres, but we'll come on to that. The 2-litre engine is improved, and I would say this is probably the only 2-litre engine in the world that I like, or it has been throughout. And is this better than the Audi S3 for me, which we did the other week? There's a link. It's tough, but I do prefer this. This feels more mischievous, more rebellious, like a rogue of the road. Oh, this cornering is so good. No understeer. Gears are extremely quick the way they engage. You're not looking at the camera. No, that's because I'm concentrating. Feels like a... Ooh, feels like something you pay to go on. Oh, this is my car. It's a ride. All the GTIs now come with IQ lights, which are brilliant. This is a strip which is lit, as you might have seen already. And these LEDs are fantastic. They have in the dipped beam something like 40 separate LEDs, and in the full beam 20 separate LEDs. They do light up the road extremely well, even during the day. That's a good test to see how good your lights are. When you flash someone in or something, with this, the whole world lights up. And also it's got obviously cornering, high beam assist where it goes up and down, and one headlight does that, the other one does that. And in fact, most cars go like that. These go like this. It's really entertaining. In fact, there are 10 different lighting modes that this car will do all by itself. This is a nice feature which I found. A lovely little cubby hole for your phone to remind you, with a Golf and then a bit of lighting underneath which changes like that, to remind you not to use your phone whilst driving. Keep it in there, otherwise you'll end up in a Mexican prison.
Well, that's not going to happen, because you won't even need your phone, because VW have now made their voice control very useful indeed.
Hello Volkswagen.
What can I do for you?
Navigate to London W1 4DJ.
London, West 1.
My feet are cold.
Warming feet at the front.
Show me charging points. Now show me all the charging stations that actually work. Wheels and tyres. This starts on the 18s. The 18s do look very much like the 18s on the 7 and the 7.5. These are the 19s. I'd probably go for the 18s, even though these look great. Reason being, these are just, well, it's the tyres. These are the good years. I've had a look for tyres for you. I think you can get some Dunlops, maybe some Pirellis for about 147. So you'll go through front tyres maybe, but I'd probably look for the quietest tyre if I'm honest. I do like this detail there. There's an R. How long is it going to be before that R is just basically a curb?
With the exterior looking very much the same, I found myself wondering if I would get used to the new minimal interior, in particular the lack of buttons and switches, and are they as fiddly as some people think? No. The only button I might miss would be the volume one.
Nice bit of good news here, because the sound system in this is not an upgrade, but it's really good. You've got mid-range sort of bass speakers down there, and actually when it's on loud you can almost feel the air moving, so that illustrates there's power. Doesn't sound like there's a sub, but it's pretty good. And then some top end there. With this system you've actually got these 3 parameters here, but with the Harman you get 2 more, so I'm not sure if it's just that makes the Harman better, but it's a good sign. And if you don't want to spend the extra money, you'll like this sound system. And you will like the car, and how it energizes, invigorates and revitalizes, because you're worth it. This gives me a sense of vital life energy. You know, we're back to that fountain of youth thing. I don't know, I just feel quite lucky to be rolling around in this week. It's a laugh, it's a hilarious laugh. Feel like I want to write Volkswagen a letter. Dear Volkswagen. And don't just take my word for it. This guy has got one. And that's a pretty good advert, considering he could have had any car in the world. He doesn't use anti-aging creams. He just drives his GTI.
Okay, well, his was a Mark 7 and he sold it 2 years ago, but you get my point, right? Besides, he still likes this version. He says, God, it's good, it's better than good. So, chances are then, he'd probably still have one today, if he didn't need the money for hay.
You bastard!
Out of a junction, let's get the front wheels spinning. Lovely, look at that. Oh, come on. Yeah, very nice. This is going to be the weirdest thing you have heard on the internet today, but there's something about this car that reminds me of the Porsche 911, right? I know, but hang on. The Porsche 911 and this both give you a real sense of connection to the machine, right? A lot of cars today, very disconnected. This isn't, nor is the Porsche 911. Don't know. To me, it's just A to B, but A with lots of entertainment in the middle, B in one of these. You'll find lots of excuses to go out in it. You need some milk? It's all right. I'll go.